इच्छाकारेणं सन्धिसः भगवम् इच्छाकारेणं सन्धिसः भगवम्. Let us bow down in devotion to the Pancha Parameshti. Om Namo Arihantanam Om Namo Siddhanam Om Namo Ayariyanam Om Namo Vajjayanam Namo Loe Savasahunam Eso Pancha Namokaro Eso Pancha Namokaro Sauva Pavapanasano Mangalanancha Sauvesim Padamam Havai Mangalam Mangalanancha Sauvesim Padamam Havai Mangalam. I bow down in devotion at the feet of Tirthankar Paramatma Prabhu Mahaveer. I bow down in devotion at the feet of most revered Pujya Gurudev Anand Rishiji Maharaj Sahib and of infinitely benevolent Uttaradhyayana Bhagwan Pujya Praveen Rishiji Maharaj Sahib. Ichhakarenam Sandhisah Bhagvam. My immense gratitude to the holy feet of Paramatma and Gurudev Upadhyay Praveen Rishiji Maharaj Sahib for showering his grace upon me to be an instrument in delivering the Uttaradhyayana Sutra in English. Aram afternoon everyone. I Sadhvi Arohi welcome the devotees gathered here to listen to the sacred techniques of the 24th Tirthankar Paramatma Mahaveer and to participate in worshipping the Srimad Uttaradhyayana Sutra. This sutra holds great significance as it contains the last words of Paramatma Mahaveer before his salvation. I will be presenting the English version of Gurudev Rishi Praveen's discourse on the Srimad Uttaradhyayana Sutra. Today is the 13th day of our humble effort. We will try to understand and absorb the secrets of chapters 23 as decoded by Guru Sri Ji. Let's get ready for Samosharan meditation. Sit straight, close your eyes, feel your breath, feel yourself. Let us bow down to Tirthankar Paramatma Mahaveer in devotion with complete presence of mind. Let us seek permission from Paramatma Mahaveer seated in the divine Samosharan with a divine assembly to worship our Paramatma and to listen to the sacred words led by him. Vardhamanam saranam pavajami Vardhamanam saranam pavajami Vardhamanam saranam pavajami. I am full of devotion and faith. I am an enlightened soul. Shraddha mayo aham. Jnana mayo aham. The faith in me helps me experience the revered. It enables me to experience my Tirthankar Paramatma Mahaveer. Feel the existence of your soul from toe to head and head to toe. My body is pure. My mind is pure. In this pure body, feel the auspicious Samosharan of Paramatma, the Samosharan which can shelter the beings in entire universe. For the devotees coming from all four directions are the four gateways. The first enclosure of bright silver enclosure with golden archways. The second enclosure made up of gold with gemstone archways, crystal steps. The third enclosure made of gemstone with Vaidurya Maniratna's archways and radiant crystal steps. Sense and feel your heart as crystal throne of Paramatma with his divine compassion. Seated is Paramatma. Sudha Rasmay, Chandra Rochirmay. Chamrendra and Balendra are fanning Paramatma. Crafted with gold and gemstones are the three divine umbrellas above Paramatma and Ashoka tree. Divine aura of Paramatma which lighten the entire Samosharan. The showering of colorful flowers spreading fragrance everywhere. The musical sounds being played by the celestial deities. Universal benevolent Dharma Chakra. The glorious Dharma flag. All around Paramatma are Gandhars, monks, Vaimanic deities, men, women, Vaimanic goddesses, Bhavanpati Jyotishi God and goddesses. All are captivated in the heavenly atmosphere of the Samosharan and admiring Paramatma. Bowing down to Paramatma in devotion, the fifth Gandhar Sudharma Swami sings a hymn of Paramatma, describing Paramatma's that form which is beyond the five senses. Diving in devotion, he is making us all experience the divine form of Paramatma. Feel the divine Samosharan. Feel the presence of divine Tirthankar Paramatma Prabhu Mahaveer. And slowly open your eyes. For the rendition of Veer Stuti, hymn in appreciation of Paramatma, and the Prakrut verses of Uttaradhyayana Sutra, follow the link in the description box. Namo Suyadevayaye, Namo Suyadevayaye, Namo Suyadevayaye. Chapter 23, title Kesi Goyamijjam, is a remarkable and an exceptional chapter on Keshi Shraman, the monk of 23rd Tirthankar Paramatma Parshvanath's religious order, and Indrabhuti Gautam, the monk of Paramatma Mahaveer's religious order. a chapter which is deeply linked with every one of us and has many answers of today. A chapter which turns a conversation to a peace message and zero down the generation gap. Paramatma Parshvanath, before attaining salvation, had announced that after 250 years of my salvation, the 24th Tirthankar would be born to a king named Siddharth Raja and Queen Trishla. He would be the last Tirthankar of this time period. Soon the time came when Mother Trishla gave birth to Vardhaman, who was later known to be Paramatma Mahaveer. When Paramatma Mahaveer attained Keval Gyan, he set up a religious order that was headed by a great disciple Indrabhuti Gautam. The huge and expansive Dharma Sangha of Tirthankar Parshvanath, though accepted Prabhu Mahaveer as the 24th Tirthankar, did not integrate their community into Paramatma Mahaveer's Dharma Sangha. They did not follow the guidance and spiritual practices as led by Tirthankar Mahaveer. The community of Tirthankar Parshvanath, being followers of Tirthankar, had complete faith and devotion towards Prabhu Mahaveer as Tirthankar, yet could not accept to follow him because of certain differences in perception and practices. They did not want their community to be governed under the guidance of Tirthankar Mahaveer. They wanted their community to remain independent and be governed separately. These two streams, coming from the two forms of the same enlightened one, were giving rise to doubts and confusion in the minds and hearts of the common people. Apart from common man, the monks of both the communities too had confusions. Few were of the perception, despite having an ancient tradition that is passed on since generation. Why a new religious tradition with different protocols have been made by Paramatma Mahaveer? They had their doubts as so if there are any shortcomings in the Paramatma Parshvanath's tradition and protocols, that the same was not accepted. Few of them thought, when Paramatma Mahaveer is also a Tirthankar, should his tradition not be followed? The confusion was because both the orders came from the enlightened ones, whose goal was same, whose understanding was same. Gurudev says, unfortunately, similar sectism prevails in present day scenario. Despite having one Tirthankar, same scriptures, same belief, the attachment towards sects does not let everyone to freely connect with Paramatma Mahaveer. Indrabhuti Gautam felt the pinch, and he saw if the two religious orders do not unite, it will lead to a lot of struggle, and in future they will all stand against each other. With the goal to unite all, he expresses his desire before Paramatma Mahaveer to have a dialogue and conversation with Keshi Shraman, seeking Prabhu Mahaveer's blessings and permission. Indrabhuti Gautam, along with his fellow monks, leaves for Sravasti. Both the leader of religious order, Keshi Shraman, and Indrabhuti Gautam had divine powers and prosperous heart. They both decided to discuss and unite. They made up their mind thoughts and heart for it. Before meeting each other, they both had a non-verbal dialogue with respect to meeting and building fellowship. On reaching near the garden, Sudharma Swami writes in his text that at that moment of meeting, all the heavenly deities who were around the city of Shravasti were present to view this exceptional meeting of fellowship. People of the other religions too came out of curiosity of what would happen when these two leaders would meet. Keshi Shraman, despite being senior, seeing them gets up and welcomes Indrabhuti Gautam and others. He gives them place to be seated. The warm welcome put them at ease for the conversation. Gurudev says that Indrabhuti Gautam's devotion to his senior and Keshi Shraman's hospitality towards someone junior to him offer two important lessons for all of us. In a relation between an elder and a younger person, it is the responsibility of the younger one to take the first step and approach the elder. When the younger person does so, the elder should warmly welcome them with an open heart. This applies to relationships like that of a daughter-in-law and mother-in-law, a son and father, or any other dynamic between younger and elder individuals. Gurudev emphasizes that even when there are differences in opinion, lifestyle, or beliefs, one should always welcome the other with an open heart. Those who learn the art of approaching and welcoming keep relationships alive and thriving. The chapter teaches us the art of communication between elders and youngsters. The question of the senior or the junior could be in the form of allegations or in the form of curiosity. Gurudev says that if we want to have a healthy and result-oriented conversations, all our questions should be in the form of curiosity. Keshi Shraman curiously asks Indrabhuti Gautam that I have few doubts, concerns, things which I am unaware of it. If I am right or wrong, and therefore can I ask you my doubts and concerns? Gurudev narrating this bows down to Keshi Shraman in devotion for his approach of speaking. He urges every elder in family, every leader of an organization to learn the art of speaking from Keshi Shraman. Despite being an elder, he seeks permission from the younger one to question him. Gurudev says, every elder should leave their ego aside and speak with humility. Indrabhuti Gautam answers to Keshi Shraman. He says, Jahitcham, as you wish, you may ask. Keshi Shraman asked, when both the Tirthankaras spoke about each other, both are enlightened beings and both have the same goal, then why is the speech of both the Tirthankaras different? Gurudev says that every wise man have different opinions and perceptions Only the ignorant have same opinions. Having a different thought and mindset is not wrong. It paves way for dialogue. In fact, welcoming new thoughts and mindsets open up doors for prosperity. That is why science progresses every day, because it provides space for new opinions, new thoughts, new ways, new practices which lead to innovation. May the acceptance of new come in our religious communities, in our homes, in our lives. Past was past and future is future. Solutions of past cannot be the answer of the present and future. The vaccine that is used for malaria cannot be used for coronavirus. For new problems, there has to be new solutions. Those who accept new changes easily will be able to survive. Those who don't will only struggle in life. Keshisraman raised a significant concern, saying, Tirthankar Parshvanath did not prescribe a specific dress code. He accepted any color or material of clothing. However, Tirthankar Mahaveer advises either wearing only white clothes or remaining without clothes. Tirthankar Parshvanath taught the observance of 4 Mahavrats, whereas Tirthankar Mahaveer emphasized the practice of 5 Mahavrats. Parshvanath recommended performing pratikaman, a practice of self-observation, when a mistake was made. But Mahaveer not only suggested observation when a mistake occurred, but also mandated it twice a day, morning and evening, regardless of whether a mistake was made or not. Keshisraman questioned, if both Tirthankaras were enlightened, why is there so much difference in their perceptions and practices? Gurudev says, Paramatma Mahaveer's tradition is of conversation. Unfortunately, today the difference in opinion in religious order is not an issue, but lack of a system in a place to set right the issues is a bigger problem. In response to Keshisraman's concerns, Indrabhuti Gautam explained, the dress code is a functional arrangement designed to bring uniformity within the community. These protocols serve a purpose. They create discipline and order, both for the individual and the community as a whole. The differences in practices are adjustments made for the evolving needs of society. Keshisraman then asks, I understand that the dress code is for maintaining order, but why are there additional principles, observations, and repentance for past actions at specific times? Indrabhuti Gautam responds, Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, analyzed these principles with his wisdom and then established them. He explains that during the time of Tirthankar Rishabdev, people were simple and innocent. In the era of Tirthankar Parshvanath, people were both innocent and wise. However, the people who lived during and after Tirthankar Mahaveer's lifetime would neither be innocent nor wise. They would be obstinate. Without a predefined protocol, such people would easily stray from the righteous path through arguments and justifications. Therefore, the practice of pratikaman, repentance and reflection, was not instituted based solely on religious and philosophical grounds, but as a necessity for future followers to keep them aligned with righteousness. After each response, Keshi Shraman acknowledged that his doubts and confusions were gradually being cleared. He then expressed that he had a few personal questions. Keshi Shraman asks, how can one control this mind? These questions posed by Keshi Shraman resonates with every individual throughout history. How can one put a bridle on his mind that runs as fast as horse? The more we try to hold this bridle, the more it pulls in the opposite direction. Indrabuddhi answers, I have managed to control this constantly racing mind through religious teachings. The religious teachings are essential for mastering the mind. Keshi Shraman then tells, there is a fire everywhere. Everyone is burning in it. How can we stop this fire that spreads through every house and community? How have you extinguished this fire in your life? Indrabuddhi Gautam responds, the true fire is anger, ego, greed and deceit. I have been able to control this through the flow of Shrut. Here Shrut refers to the reading of spiritual techniques found in holy scriptures. Gurudev notes that Indrabuddhi Gautam did not mention concepts like forgiveness or humility to overcome these issues. Instead, he provided a spiritual practice. He gives an example of Acharya Sri Atmaramji Maharaj Sahib's disciple, Sri Ratan Muniji Maharaj Sahib, who was a master of this practice. He frequently used it, and whenever he showered the words of Shruta on anyone, peace would prevail in no time. Today, Gurudev gives a great practical tip. Please be cautious, be careful, and listen carefully and imbibe it. He says, sit with your family and recite the verses of Veer Shruti, Veer Stuti or Uttaradhyayan to them. Visualize the words of Veer Stuti and the words of Uttaradhyayan Sutra as a Mahamegh, a great cloud in the sky pouring rain. See that each word of Veer Stuti and every word of Shrutadev is being showered upon your family. He urges everyone to engage in daily worship of Veer Stuti, assuring that it possesses the power to extinguish any fire. Then Keshi Shraman asks, how does one conquer the senses? Indrabuddhi Gautam answered, one who conquers the soul conquers the senses. Many enemies arise from within, pulling you back, and these enemies are born from your own soul. But if I make my soul my friend, no one will remain as enemy or even a friend. The way I perceive determines my friendship or enmity. If the perception of the soul changes, then everyone becomes a friend. Keshi Shraman then asked, there are many prevailing philosophies. How do we determine which is the right and which is wrong? Indrabhuti replied, what Jineshwar, the enlightened one, has revealed, I have accepted fully, and therefore I have no confusion in my mind. Paramatma has said that those who worship ahimsa, non-violence, self-discipline, and tap, austerity, are respected even by celestial beings. I believe this wholeheartedly, that the path of dharma, righteousness, self-discipline, and tap is auspicious. I accept it without any doubt or second thoughts. Keshi Shraman then asks, it's possible to stop external disturbances, but how do we control the poisonous creepers that arise from within? I see that you have overcome them. What is this creeper? And how have you conquered it? Indrabhuti responds, the hunger for worldly attachments is that very creeper. I have distanced myself from it, uprooted it entirely, so it no longer grows within me. Gurudev explains that allegations, objections, and constant reactions are the manifestations of this hunger for worldly attachments. To free oneself, one must aim to remove these internal creepers. Keshi Shraman then remarks, I see many people tied down like animals, their minds knotted with thoughts. But you are free from all these knots. Indrabhuti answers, likes and dislikes are the biggest knots. I have severed both. I neither submit to anyone nor become attached to anyone. I have devoted myself solely to Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, and thus I am free from all other knots. The one who binds themselves to Paramatma will have no other bonds in life. Keshi Shraman then asks, there is darkness all around. Who will bright the light to dispel this darkness? Indrabhuti Gautam replies, the sun has arisen, and it is this sun that will spread light everywhere, means Paramatma, Mahaveer. Indrabhuti Gautam continued to address each of Keshi Shraman's concern one by one, and the entire community absorbed his wisdom with great joy. When all of Keshi Shraman's questions were answered, Keshi Shraman praised Indrabhuti Gautam and saying, एवं तु संशये छिन्ने केसी घोर परकम में अभिवंदिता शिरसा गोयमं तु महायसम. You are an ocean of knowledge, beyond any doubt. On Indrabhuti Gautam, I bow down in respect before you. Despite being senior to Indrabhuti Gautam, Keshi Shraman folded his hands, bowed, and touched Indrabhuti Gautam's feet in deep reverence. The entire monk community and the gathered people were left stunned by this sight. Witnessing such humility and respect from a senior monk to his junior, Gurudev says that true greatness lies in having the courage to acknowledge and bow down before the greatness of others. Those who cannot accept someone greater than themselves will ultimately be left with nothing but regret. On the other hand, people who embrace the greatness of others not only become great themselves, but also inspire others to follow the path of greatness. With this, I conclude today's session. If I made any mistake, I ask for forgiveness. Thank you so much, all listeners. Have a Arham day. Mangal Path.
Chattari Mangalam Arihanta Mangalam Siddha Mangalam Sahu Mangalam Kevali Pannato Dhammo Mangalam Chattari Laguttamari Hanta Laguttamam Siddha Laguttamam Sahu Laguttamam Kevali Pannato Dhammo Laguttamam Chattari Saranam Bhavanjhami Arihante Saranam Bhavanjhami Siddhe Saranam Bhavanjhami Savo Saranam Bhavanjhami Kevali Pannatam Dhammam Saranam Bhavanjhami Arihanto ka sharanam Siddho ka sharanam Sadhu ka sharanam Dayan dharma ka sharanam Char mangal Charavaktam Chare Sharana Dukha Harana Sukha Karana Arna Sharana Koi Jo Bhavivrani Kare Aradhan Akshay Amar Pada Hoy Vadhavanam Saranam